everything you do is helping to build communities, right?
Yes, I try to.
So why is West Coast swing still not that popular in your opinion, like other social dances?
I just had this conversation with John Lindo, and I think John had a really good point. You know, if you look at other dances, they have a culturally specific dress code and culture. I mean, Lindy Hop dresses a part. They have a specific piece of music, and they have a pretty common age range. Salsa is a younger dance. There's people who dance salsa that are older, but it's a younger, there's a lot of youth in salsa. They dress up in the congresses. There's a fashion sense. So this is the kind of thing that I think that we're so big of it as a community. Our ages go from 7 to 90, right? We don't have a specific dress.
No, we don't.
We don't have a specific music. Mm-hmm. It's just too hard. And then that's the other thing. This dance is a very, very hard dance. This is a very, very hard dance to do. I think the learning curve is one of the hardest dances, period. It's the best dance in the world, but it's one of the hardest to ramp up to. So you have a year to dedicate to private lessons and group classes to really get going on this. I think that's the problem. And I'm going to say something really crazy on the air, but I don't think our dance is sexy enough.
That's true. That's what I always say.
Well, look, I mean, I always say, anytime a guy gets to grind a girl, or girl, whatever, is popular. Key samba, bachata, there's all sorts of dances that have this. Now, people say in that community, well, we're not really a sexual dancer, but you kind of are, you're grinding each other. Yeah. That's a lot, and I consider West Coast Swing a dancer's dance.
Yes.
This is a dance where dancers come in that want to fundamentally become dancers. That's the difference in my opinion. Not to say that doesn't happen in other dances, because it does. Top level dancers in all communities are technically good. But West Coast Swing, we're a very technically sound bunch. We study our craft. We really try to, and the other thing too is it evolves. That's the other thing that a lot of people don't like about our dance, and it is also the best thing about our dance, is that we evolve with the design of the music. I feel like West Coast Swing has potential to be one of the biggest dances in the world because we dance to all music.
Yes.
It also hinders our ability to get advertising, because advertisers need you to be very specific. Tell me your market. Is it women? Is it women 30 to 50? Is it baby boomer men? Is this? We don't have those numbers. Oh. So big advertisers won't take us on. They're just not going to, because we're not specific enough. Now, maybe some of the big people like Coke and Pepsi. I used to have an event called the Reno Dance Station, which was one of my bigger ones, where I actually had a few sponsors like Cliff Bar and Monster Energy Drink and some other things, and that was great. But to be international, we're going to have to pull all of our resources together to get some kind of demographics to approach the big advertising or big sponsors to go after that. We can't do it. It's just going to take a little bit of time to make that happen.
And what do you want to do with those advertisements? Like, you want to use their money to put the videos everywhere, to put commercials everywhere?
Correct.
And they would sponsor the advertising.
Yeah, or even be able to get us placed in movies or get us placed in stuff. That's the thing. Like we had Love and Dancing. Robert did a great job with that, and really tried to showcase our dance. And but I feel like this dance is just hard. It's not an easy dance to learn, and people come in, they just want to have fun. And you got to remember, 80% of the people who come in are social dancers. They don't want to be better dancers. They just want to have fun after work and meet a girl or a guy. And West Coast Swing is not that easy dance to learn. I can teach basic bachata in 30 minutes. But that's what makes West Coast Swing so inviting too, because it offers people a chance to go to classes and perfect their craft. That's part of the journey, and I think that's part of the fun of it.
I have two specific questions about marketing that I got from our audience. One came from Jan and Diete from Denmark. And the question was, how would you promote and explain West Coast Swing for non-dancers or new dancers?
West Coast Swing is just a modern swing dance. It's an evoluted. The swing dance has evolved. I say, so swing, right? Like the thing where you see maybe your grandparents did, where they throw the girl over the shoulder and they're dancing to fast, big band music. That was pop music back then. That was what they heard on the radio. So the kids danced to that music. Today we have different type of swing. Let's dance to the music that we listen to on the radio. So I try to bring them into the conversation, like Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber and Michael Jackson and all these people. But I feel like West Coast swing is just, it's really a hard thing to say, West Coast swing, so you do that Western swing thing where you put a hat on and no. So you do that old music, big band stuff, and you throw girls around your shoulder? No. So you're from the West, right? So you do swing from the West. Kind of, but that's not really right. So what is it? It's the ultimate form of that. That's why, all you people out there that read my post years ago about changing the name, I know a lot of people hate that, but I really have thought from a marketing perspective, our name is one of our biggest deterrents. I know a lot of my peers will not like that, but think, zouk, one word, salsa, one word, like waltz, one word. They're West Coast swing. What the hell is that? There's no way how are you going to market that? Our name does not tell us what we do. There was a lot of names been thrown out too. Modern swing, street swing. Flow was one of the ones we talked about. Yeah. Flow. Let's go flow. So like
in Israel, we just used to
West,
call it,
right?
to say West.
Yeah, same in Poland. So when I first heard that, I'm like, that's kind of catchy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of my peers don't even like the word Westie. But I love Westie. It's not easier. West Coast.
That's the name of my vlog.
I know. Go blog. Right? I'm just saying. Westie.
Yeah, so maybe we can just market it as West. And then explain, it's West Coast swing. So
but I think if we do that, we have to wear cowboy hats and guns, and we have to be like, it'd be like John Wayne. West. Right?
Which brings me actually to the next question from Mira.
Mira!
Yeah, Mira, you know him from Brno.
Yeah.
So he asked, how do you grow your community when you have tough competition from another dance community that's more established?
Oh God, here we go. Do we have 9 hours? Okay, look. I don't like this competition within communities. I think it's destructive. You understand that, like, as any community in the world grows, people learn by people, and then they take their knowledge and they spread around, and then they teach, and then they take their knowledge and they spread. That's the way we grow in the world. That's how we grow in everything that we've ever done on the planet. But in this dance, it's because of ego. It's because of ego, and it's because of money. People think that if the other school over here starts, and they're better, and I'm going to lose my students, and I'm going to lose money. And so they try to control. And they control out of fear, not being proactive and working together. It's one thing I like about Singapore. They had a place called Jitterbugs, which was a dance school, and they had Z's event, Mosaic at the time, now it's Ziggy Feet. But both of the studios worked together. Every pro went to each one of the ones dance. All the students from both crossed, and there was no animosity. There was nothing. There was no ego. It's just everybody wanted a different place to dance. And multiple nights. What's wrong with that? I think that you have to be able to get the support of the community. What I don't like is fraction, when people fraction it out. Oh, don't go to the studio. If you go here, don't never come back to my studio. That happens a lot. Like, it's happened a lot in the past, and that's why I've come in and try to help this by bringing people together. I always say that if you can offer multiple times to multiple areas to go and dance, everybody wins. Your community grows here, that community grows here, this one grows here. Now when you have events, you have a lot of people. And I think that's something that, from Singapore, I think that's something that people can learn a lot from. Event promoters, or event studio owners, you don't own your students. Think about that. You don't own your students. Your job is to make their dance experience amazing. Why do you want to control them? Don't. Encourage them to go other places. I do. My students, all the students I teach, I tell them to go take lessons from Jordan, Simeon, Sarah, and I'll book privates for them. I want my students to learn from different people. But it's this ego. It's this ego and controlling nature that stops us from doing that. But for him, I would say this. Make sure you're organized. Make sure you have a difference. Have your dance on a different night. Don't compete. That's the big one. Don't put another dance on the night that's been going around for 10 years. Don't do that. If they have an event, support that event. And ask for support for your event. That's the thing. guys, I know you have a school over here. I would like to do it too. I really like to have I have an aspiration of running a dance school or a dance. Can you help me with this? I would like to do it on Tuesday. I'd rather work with you. We can cross promote, and any new people that I get, I'll bring them to you. Any new people you ask, tell them to me. We work together. Now everybody wins. That's strange. Everybody working together to make things better. World, take note. Just remember, this is a family, and we have to treat each other like a family. We come from different places and backgrounds and religions and cultures. That doesn't mean we can't all get along and we all can't support each other and to do good for each other. And I feel like we have to, as a small community, we have to be the better people. We have to stop this ego-based system of hierarchy and status when we need to be focused on helping each other achieve each other's goals. It's okay to be upset to not make finals. It's okay not to reach your expectations so fast, but we have to understand that if we all work together and try to build a better community by all reaching out and not being so negative towards each other, I think that's a start. The other thing is I want to make sure that people understand you have to come into this community understanding that you do have self-esteem issues, because most people do. And it's okay to talk about and open up to things, especially boys. I see a lot of pain and suffering in this community like I do outside of dancing, but it really gets amplified here. So don't be afraid to open up and to meet people. This is why we're here. We come to these conventions. It's not because of the conventions or the pros or this. We come because our friends go. We want to go spend time with our friends and have a good time together. Whether it be meeting a guy or a girl, whether it be hanging out with your best friend, whether it be talking dance and shop, whether it be catching up, whatever. That's the main goal here. It's a people thing. It's a community thing. Dance is what brings us together. Community is what makes us stay. I always say that on my website. And I feel that really is true. So I want everybody to take a few moments before you go to your next convention or your next local dance and ask yourself, instead of complaining about the bad things about our community, the bad things about the World Swing Dance Council, the bad things about this, the bad things about that event promoter, that teacher, his class, her class, think about what positive things you got from that. What positive things did the World Swing Dance Council do? What positive things did you have at that event? So you didn't make the finals. Did you have some good conversations with your friends? I feel like that mentality needs to be we need to really focus on this, because as we get bigger, I want our community to still stay tight. West Coast Swing, in my opinion, is the best dance community in the world. We have something very unique and special here. And I've seen a lot of communities, and this one is very unique, and I don't want it to be ruined. The competition, I feel, is ruining this thing a little bit. And I really I like competition to motivate, be used as a motivator, to motivate yourself to be better, but not against people. I know it's human nature to compete against each other, but we should do it in a way that's not so destructive. This damn point system has created these levels, which people are striving to get to the level, not because they want to be a better dancer and better artist, but they just want to be a better level for who knows what. Because if you're intermediate, now you're going to get asked to dance more. And that's another thing. For all my pros, I'm not going to call anybody out, but guys, we all social dance, and we're all good at what we do with this. We all get on the floor and dance. For the people who are not pros and want to dance with the pro, have some etiquette with this. If you want us pros to come out here and really be in the ballroom, and make sure that you don't overwhelm us, treat us like a piece of meat. We want to rest too, but we'll always be in the ballroom dancing. Just give us some space. If you see us sitting, let us relax a little bit. I think we need to focus a lot on stuff outside the dance world. Mm-hmm. I'll say something very interesting, just a word of advice for everybody. It's okay to be so 100% into everything you do in West Coast Swing, but don't use this as a method to escape issues personally. Mm-hmm. You can, but it will always be like a Band-Aid over a wound. We all need that extra thing. Don't lose yourself to a point where if you lose something here, then you lost yourself in the real world. So take time outside. Go on a vacation outside of a dance convention. Go do another hobby. When I'm not When I'm not dancing, I have an outdoor gear company. So big companies like Patagonia and North Face and Fjällräven and those guys will send me product, and I will test it. And I just launched a YouTube channel. So I've been asked to do a YouTube channel. So now I'm trying to get my subscribers. So everybody here, please, trail dancer. Okay, a couple last things real quick. I want to tell everybody, if you haven't been to Europe, if you haven't been to Asia, Asian Alpine or Swing Station in Australia, or any of the events in Europe that are amazing, Rock the Bar in Riga, Swing in the Snow, Bavarian Open, any of these events over here, Citadel Swing, make sure that you, FinFest, sorry, any of these events over here, get over here to Europe, guys. Make this a vacation. Come over here and enjoy the wonderful people we have in Europe. It is life-changing to me. The people over here are so wonderful. Come to a Russian event. Go somewhere you're not used to going. I really strongly recommend it. We try to save your money and make it happen. Come and see me over here in Europe, and we'll have some fun times. The last thing I want to say before we say goodbye, be good to each other. Be positive. Don't let competition dictate who you are. You're fine just the way you are. Just keep practicing your craft as an artist, and keep doing what you do in the community, and try to affect us in a positive way.
Thank you so much, Chuck.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great conversation.
Thank you.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, like I said, guys, I enjoyed being here. I love what you're doing here. I love this. The Naked Truth has been really good. You're doing this. I think we need more people doing this out here, doing these interviews. I really strongly think that we need more of this, so more people get to see what we do. And yeah, guys.
I need more people like you to help the community.
Thanks, man.
If you have any issues concerning growing your communities, ask Chuck. Contact him. He'll help you. He'll help your community. He'll help your events. He's available for like everything in West Coast Swing related and non-West Coast Swing related.
For sure. And plus, if you have any hiking questions, backpacking, gear questions, you can, he'll put the link down, but the Trail Dancer is my trail name. So the Trail Dancer is pretty cool. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. Anyways, thank you so much.
Thank you. And goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. See you next week.
Last question comes from Noach from Israel, and he wanted to know, who is stronger, Superman or the Hulk?
Let's be realistic here. This freaking debate's been going on since I've been a kid. DC would destroy the Avengers in a heartbeat. Superman just goes zzz with his eyes, and Hulk is now toast. There is no way. There's holes through Hulk. He grabs Hulk by the hand, he takes him into space and drops him off. Now he has no air. He throws him into the sun. There is no way the Hulk could beat Superman.